Did you see this photo? It shows China launching a nuclear missile just recently. This was just a test. It didn't have a warhead, and it landed in the Pacific Ocean. So what, right? Well, maybe we need to take a closer look. Because China has been making crazy progress with its nuclear missiles. So let's check out 3 of its most important ones. Each of them has technology that really matters. First, the JL-3. This is a brand new submarine-launched ballistic missile, or SLBM. It could be the one that China just tested. They didn't say. Its estimated range is 10,000 kilometers, just about enough to reach the US West Coast from the South China Sea. And tech? This has MIRVs, multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles. That means that it can carry more than one warhead, so it can hit more than one target. And it's harder for missile defenses to intercept.
If you have more warheads being thrown at an adversary, that adversary is going to have a harder time.
Okay, next. The DF-17 is also hard to intercept. That's because it's hypersonic. It's super fast and super maneuverable. China has pioneered hypersonic technology, well ahead of the US.
One of China's goals has been figuring out how to overcome US missile defenses, and hypersonic weapons are a part of that.
The DF-17 is launched from the ground and has a range of about 2,500 kilometers. And it also has something in common with our next missile. That's the DF-26, which can be used for nuclear or conventional warheads, dual capable in the jargon. The DF-26 is thought to be extra flexible.
Some have questioned whether this is what we might call hot swappable, which is the idea that they can very quickly shift from a nuclear to a conventional role or vice versa.
Sounds handy, right? But it's also risky.
Say China disperses a bunch of conventional DF-26s. We may think that China is signaling its intention to use nuclear weapons where in fact it's not doing so.
Okay, so why has China developed these missiles? Well, the JL-3 could hit the US mainland with multiple warheads. The DF-26 is nicknamed the Guam Killer, just right to hit America's remote Pacific island. And the DF-17 is just right for targeting US forces in Japan or US aircraft carriers, dodging their defenses. These regional missiles suggest that China's moves here are about more than just deterrence. Rather, Beijing is thinking that if it came down to it, it would use these weapons to fight with America.
Its build-up of its regional nuclear forces clearly indicates it's thinking much more about this contingency, that it's trying to match the United States in a limited nuclear war.
The big question is, could a nuclear war really stay limited? Nobody knows. And we better hope that we never find out.
Every country needs to be prepared to deal with United States terrorism. Damn, and it's not even helping, especially with what's going on in Iran. US and white allies invading 100 countries, good. China testing a missile, never invading a country like 50 years, shocked. I don't blame China for doing this. Look at how US treats Iran, Venezuela, and Cuba. And many other countries. I mean, I don't blame them. Imagine someone coming to your house and telling you exactly what they're going to do with your resources, then take your president to your own country to lock him up. You start to wonder if you're a sovereign country or are you just under the ruling of someone who's more stronger than you. When US uses nuke weapons against Japan, that's fine. When China tests nuclear weapons, that's bad.
China is building bulletproof robot soldiers that look terrifying. Even after being hit by a 20mm machine gun, they're still standing.
Bruh.
I think the Terminator army isn't too far away.
Hey, yo, I'm not even surprised because, I mean, if you see the war that's being fought around the world, everyone's using drones or AI models that help them understand how the layout of the war is. Countries don't want to be putting their people at risk to go and fight wars. China is moving ahead to this other level that is a little scary. We don't give China enough credit for its technology. We shouldn't underestimate China. America needs to start refocusing on what's important because at this stage, you're going to be losing a lot of people to robots. What's the point when they can just use EMPs to disable all electronics in that area? I mean, this is also so stupid because if your men are also in that battlefield flying jets, using helicopters to even fight the war, and you use an EMP, you're also going to hurt your own people as well in the process.
You want to bring a robot like this from China into the United States? Well, forget it. New foreign robots are now banned. The Federal Communications Commission in Washington just ruled advanced robotic devices produced in foreign countries, quote, pose an unacceptable risk to the national security of the United States. The ban only applies to new imports, not any devices already stateside. This comes after robots from Chinese companies like Unitree have wowed millions on social media, becoming more familiar to Americans and even taking the stage on America's Got Talent. So the US government now says that relying on foreign-produced advanced robotic devices presents unacceptable supply chain and cybersecurity vulnerabilities. Goes on to say advanced robotic devices collect data that could be leveraged by malign actors to surveil Americans, enhance the capabilities of foreign intelligence services, or to remotely commandeer the robots. 90% of the world's humanoid robots are made in China, with more than 140 companies competing in a crowded and quickly expanding market. Robotics companies and China's Ministry of Commerce, for now, are not publicly reacting. The move is another potential point of friction as the US and China try to stabilize ties. The FCC says it's possible to avoid the ban if a company applies for an exception, proving the product does not pose a risk, and that's signed off by the Pentagon. This imports ban mirrors other US prohibitions of Chinese tech, like communications equipment from Huawei and Chinese EVs kept out of the US market.
US tech giants are admitting defeat in the AI battle. How do we know? Because US tech giants are admitting defeat in the AI battle. How do we know? Because they're doing the same thing with TikTok. If they can't beat it, ban it. They're now saying that cheap AI is dangerous and communism. You think I'm joking? Read this. OpenAI's head of strategic futures says that an outcome of an open weight model is full AI communism, because AI would be a public good instead of a market product. But what's so bad about AI being a public good? Because didn't OpenAI say that it was working for the public interest? Hence the name OpenAI. They're telling on themselves, and the panic is getting so bad that some people are looking towards the government to ban or reduce the use of open source models. But when you look at the cost breakdown, here's why. Look at how cheap DeepSeek and other of these Chinese models are for some common tasks as compared to GPT, literally over 20 times cheaper, which is why the D3 list told you when they were saying that they were going to do a price war in the US, they had already lost. To these companies for following their usual if you can't beat them, ban them playbook, once again.
That Kimi K new AI model completely ruined everything for American tech. They're wondering how they're going to compete at such low costs, but yet providing such great output. Same thing they said about Chinese electric cars. At this point, instead of these companies just banning AI models from coming into America, why don't they just go and collaborate with these Chinese companies and figure out how they're doing all of this? The US can't compete on any playing field. And unfortunately, this is the reality of what's going to happen moving forward, because you can't keep banning them forever.
A man in China just controlled 30 flying drones simultaneously using nothing but hand gestures, and the military has been trying to crack this problem for years. Meet Fan Shishan, who built a gesture control interface that lets him command an entire drone swarm with his bare hands, something defense contractors have spent billions trying to do. And that's where drone control just changed. Every advanced drone swarm system uses GPS coordinates or pre-programmed paths, and Fan's system does none of that. Motion sensors strapped to his hands track every tilt and rotation in real time, and 30 sword-shaped drones respond instantly as extensions of his body, and his latest creation takes that engineering further with a 4.6 meter rideable sword weighing 100 kilograms that carries a human through the air using balancing principles. His 4-man team spent 18 months solving from scratch, and Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning publicly praised the result. Here's where it gets insane. The same gesture control technology Fan built is exactly what military drone programs and robotics companies are spending billions trying to develop, and he built it with no corporate backing and no government funding in Chengdu. But the craziest part, most people watched wuxia movies and imagined flying swords. Fan Shishan built one.
3 of the wackiest tech I saw in China. 1. Phones are getting some great telephoto cameras, but has this gone too far? It's a detachable lens that you put in front of the telephoto camera. It's massive, but actually gets you up to 4 times more zoom. 2. This laptop doesn't have a webcam at first glance, because it's actually hidden inside the laptop and it magnetically attaches at the top. But the best part is you can flip it around, so you can show people what you're looking at without doing this.
Nah, I would lose that camera within that week, because I hate anything that's detachable that's not on the computer. You can easily lose it, and then replacing it is just another headache. Now you don't have a webcam. Ugh.
And lastly, this might just look like a normal mouse, but you can open the top and there are earbuds hidden inside.
Oh my
What if you
God.
only want to bring some earbuds though? Do you bring your mouse around?
Exactly. Why would you bring the mouse now with you? Oh my God. I mean, it looks cool. It's wacky, as she mentioned, but it's not practical.
Driverless trucks just took over China's highways. No cab, no windshield, no driver, just a sensor pod up front rolling down the road on its own. It's called Cargobot Space, built to replace the entire cab with nothing but AI and cameras. It runs 22 hours a day. Human human drivers are legally capped at 8. That's one truck doing the work of 3. Battery swaps take 5 minutes and it can cover 2,000 kilometers before the next one. China wants 10,000 of these on the road within 3 years. One industry analysis put it bluntly, this could threaten 17 million trucking jobs just in China.
Someone's like, there goes my future job. Honestly, if technology moves towards this aspect, which it's already doing in many countries, there's a high chance that you might have very limited jobs and maybe other job opportunities might open. Like you might have someone who does surveillance or maintenance of this, and that could be a position you can take in there, but it's going to be very limited. Someone's like, easy truck robbery ever. Honestly, it is, because they don't have any self-awareness. Making sense for China with an aging and soon to be declining population. That's what explains why a lot of them are even leaving China to go to other countries where probably this has not been implemented and there are more opportunities for them to keep working. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are about the technology that's coming out of China that's completely obliterating America out the water, from AI to military. Leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. If it's your first time to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. Also, if you haven't, check out this video. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. But nevertheless, I will see you guys when I see you. Peace.